But remember. But remember.
Welcome to the Filmbusters. Hi, my name's Esther.
Hello, my name's Nathan. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Nahatan Salade Films. It's a weird title, don't worry about it.
And you can follow me on Instagram under Esther_Wanjiro. And today we're going to be talking about the 95th Oscars.
Yeah, so 95th Oscars. For the 2023 Oscars, what did you think of the results?
Well, if I'm being completely honest with you, didn't watch it.
Didn't watch it?
But I've heard there was a lot of controversy going around with everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah, because it absolutely just took over the results. It won 7 awards.
Yeah.
And it won Best Picture, because, that's the one people really like paying attention to.
They've won almost all of the awards.
Yeah.
But that leaves no room for other films to win any. And if they've won, like, Best Picture or Best Film, like, surely they shouldn't have to win all the other ones, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because, saying your film won Best Picture and Best Director and Best Screenplay alone, that's like, you have already just set yourself up for major success.
Exactly.
At that stage, surely there should be like a cap on saying, like, you won 3.
Yeah.
Maybe we should give some recognition to the other ones,
Yeah.
I think Best Leading Actor was The Whale. I forgot the actor's name. But I haven't seen that film. From what I've heard, he really deserved it. But there are other ones where it's like, we know Everything Everywhere All at Once is a good film. We don't need to give it like every acting award as well. Because arguably the least memorable part of that film was the acting. It's like, it was just good acting.
Yeah.
I wasn't blown away by it. I was like, these guys are doing their job of acting. The other things, like the directing and the editing. I mean, God, the editing. I don't know if you saw it, but apparently they edited it all. This big professional film with a relatively low budget. They edited it all on Sony. No, it was Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro.
We love Premiere Pro.
It on like a really amateur editing software, and this thing has won Best Picture. Yeah. That's why I'm so shocked by it. So no, it definitely deserved some recognition, but the acting really was Jamie Lee Curtis. That good. She was great, but
there was better.
There was probably better. Like All Quiet on the Western Front. I haven't seen that one, but I know that's very popular. It won some awards, that film as well. But I think some of my biggest hatred for the Oscars is how elitist they can feel sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, the biggest example of it is animated films.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I could talk all day about how much I hate how the Oscars treat animated films.
It's like they just believe it's just for kids.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Adults can't get into animation or can't enjoy animation.
It's not a genre.
Yeah,
it's a style.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like having an award for the best live action film.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just a way of doing it.
Exactly.
I can name you really dark animated films and TV programs. Doesn't mean they're for kids.
Exactly.
Because an animated film has never won Best Picture. Never.
That's a problem.
I think Beauty and the Beast was the first one to be nominated, but it didn't win it. Take a film like Up.
Yeah.
Name me one single child that felt more emotion watching that film than an adult.
I think I still cry to this day when I watch that film.
Exactly. I know the Marvel films, right? People seem to really like hating on them these days. But back in the day, they weren't that bad. So I think Infinity War, which did really well at the box office, really popular, one of the most popular films of all time, it got nominated for Best Special Effects. And I don't think it even won it. And this is in the film where they've got like a CGI purple villain who somehow the audience love and looks really convincing, and they're just like, it's Marvel, we don't need it. It's like it just feels so elitist. It's like, if you don't do what the Oscars like, you're not going to get it, even though the Oscars should really be like looking at all film and trying to find what's the best. Because also, like, people hold the Oscars in such high prestige, and it's like, do they deserve it? Because that's the thing, I've never really cared about them that much.
Yeah.
And I think that not many other people do care.
And I just don't watch the Oscars because it's just like, these awards aren't given to the people who actually deserve it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just given to the people that, I guess, the people who ever run the Oscars or whatever, think deserve it. And that's not, and that's like the nomination process. I feel like maybe we should have more of a say.
I won't talk about it too much, but something like Eurovision, where they have like the jury votes and the televote, where they get the public to vote. That would be really interesting if the Oscars were like, right, here are the films that have been nominated. We're going to choose which we think are the best, but you guys can vote, like call in and vote. would be really interesting to see what would happen next.
Exactly.
I guarantee you, something like Everything Everywhere would win a lot of awards still. But then that's interesting, because if you did that, something like The Whale wasn't that popular, but that won Best Actor. But I guarantee you wouldn't get that if it because the thing is, people are also stupid. So then you would start getting things like Marvel films winning every award.
Exactly.
Could you imagine Avengers Endgame winning Best Picture for some reason? There's always been like so much controversy over the Oscars.
Yeah.
And, like no matter what, every year there's always gonna be, oh, I can't believe that film lost it, or like some crap about like, oh, this film, it was amazing and they didn't even consider it,
Mm-hmm.
So, what are some Oscar controversies in the past?
Well, in 1989, the release of Do the Right Thing, which is just a Spike Lee groundbreaking film about race relations in Brooklyn, was not nominated for Best Pictures, despite being widely regarded as one of the best films of the year. They were, however, nominated for...
I think it was Best Actor in a Supporting Role and Best Screenplay.
Yeah. But
didn't win it. They were just nominated.
And there was another film, actually, Moonlight, but this one was more of a mistake. They announced the wrong winner for the Best Picture. Instead of it being Moonlight, which it was actually Moonlight, they announced La La Land. And that was just a bit of an embarrassing moment, I think, for the presenter maybe, and possibly the Oscars.
I love the idea that like whoever it was presenting it walked out on stage and like they've got all the cards marked, so you know which one to pick up, and they're just stood there with the card, and just there's a moment where they're on stage like, uh-oh, I'm on stage in front of millions of viewers, I can't get out of this, I've just got to open it
and just read the cards
and just read the wrong thing. So are there any other controversies that are of interest involving the Oscars?
There's The Dark Knight, 2008. Christopher Nolan's dark and gritty take on the Batman franchise was a critically and commercial success, but was not nominated for Best Picture. Another one that wasn't nominated for Best Picture, despite receiving 8 nominations in that other categories.
Again, it goes back to what I was sort of saying about like Marvel, where in the Oscars' eyes, it's like, oh, comic books, they can't be real films. And it's like, if anyone has watched The Dark Knight and like those 3 films, you know The Dark Knight is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant. It's not a comic book film, it's just a good film. Oh, that's a controversy.
Yeah.
I was remembering Heath Ledger won the Oscar for the Best Supporting Actor. Yeah, so Heath Ledger died shortly after The Dark Knight. It was either after The Dark Knight was released or after they finished filming. And obviously the Oscars happened the year after, and he won Best Supporting Actor. But there is a very big debate about would he have actually have won it if he hadn't have died.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, in terms of just his performance, absolutely should have won it. Amazing performance. But
and that's the thing.
It's like how, because at that stage it's like if you don't give him the win, it feels a bit, he was nominated, and it's like how do you approach that?
I don't think people should win based off their like if they've died. Sorry to say, but if they've died or if they have like a tragic experience. I mean, he died. He passed away, and rest in peace to him. But like, just because he died doesn't mean they deserve to get the award. Maybe another film done so much more better were nominated and they didn't get the reward because another person died. Like, that's a bit. I think that's very unfair.
They definitely deserve like recognition, but not necessarily the award.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it should be no matter what.
Yeah.
The idea of the Oscars, I guess, is meant to be we are looking at every film and we're going to decide what the best film, like for this award, which film deserves it best. That's the idea. That's in theory. In practice, it's so far away from that.
Exactly. If we go to the Eurovision, because I did watch that last year's one, Ukraine won. Obviously, and that's because it's strictly based off politics. Even if their performance was completely shit, and I can't lie, wasn't the best. I think Spain was really good, but Ukraine won because of politics or because of what they're going through. It's the same with the Oscars. I feel like sometimes, one film could be completely amazing, but because one thing has happened or one tragic thing has happened, this group will win. It's just like, it doesn't make sense to me because other groups have worked so hard on their production too. I
guess that links back to like if you did have a public vote for like The Dark Knight, do you it might have still won the award for Heath Ledger. Even if he hadn't have died, people loved that performance so much, and I think it's what broke people's hearts so much was that he was so amazing, and that I mean, without going too in depth to details, there is some argument to believe that it was that role that had hurt him so much.
Yeah.
I think it didn't take like a very good. It took a toll on his mental health. I think. So there is some debate about, like, does he even deserve recognition for it? Because if that's what hurt him so much, you know, with the Dark Knight, it won two Oscars. One was for Heath Ledger. Can you guess what the other one was? It's a really like weird one that I didn't expect it.
No, I can't guess.
No,
I would not know.
It was sound editing. It won the Oscar for sound editing. Like, there's so much better stuff in that film than the way it sounds, but, you know, whatever. Definitely not talking about the music, though. I'm not a big fan of Hans Zimmer. But anyway, moving on from that.
So should they be able to vote?
Yeah, exactly. No. I mean, that's one of the advantages of having a televote, or like a public vote, where it's like, you know, it goes, you know, it's like democratic. It's like you can't argue with what people want. If everybody's an idiot and thinks that the Super Mario Brothers movie should deserve Best Picture. Now, no, you know what? That's changed my opinion on that, actually. I don't want there to ever be a public vote, because I know the Super Mario Brothers movie would win Best Picture.
Why?
And if the first animated film to win Best Picture is the Super Mario Brothers movie, my God, that would be the biggest controversy in the entire history of the Oscars.
You know what's crazy? It probably will win.
Best Picture?
Maybe.
There's no way on the earth. So, earlier I mentioned this concept of what people call an Oscar bait film.
Yeah.
And it's quite difficult to sort of define, because it's for the most part, it's subjective. You know, it's not like anybody says my film is an Oscar bait film. You know, it's just sort of hidden. But the basic argument is that it's like there's certain parts of a film that's like it's specifically done to draw the attention of the Academy. How would you know the difference between a film that's just genuinely good that gets recognition and a film that's Oscar bait? Because like that kind of description goes to something like Schindler's List, which is an amazing film, but is that Oscar bait? Can a film be Oscar bait and a good film at the same time? I guess another question is like, do awards even matter?
For me personally, if I produced a film, I would not give two shits if I won an award or not, because to me my film would be great regardless of an award or not. You know? I don't think an award determines whether you are Best Picture or Best Actress or Best Supporting Role. Like, that shouldn't determine it. But
at the same time, though, if you're able to say my film won Best Picture,
that's amazing, and it is a good achievement.
Yeah.
But
it's like
you shouldn't need that. You shouldn't need that validation.
Yeah. But I guess it's like I don't know, in my brain I just think on a personal level, people like, I don't need my film to win Best Picture.
But once it wins it, you'll be like,
if it wins Best Picture, I won't shut up about it.
Oh no, yeah.
Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I would definitely take that to my grave.
It does also give you like a lot more like attention for your film.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there are people out there that'll be like, oh, this film won Best Picture.
Yeah.
Like Everything Everywhere All at Once. I know so many people that didn't even know what that film was.
Yeah.
But now that it won Best Picture, I've shown it to them and they're like, wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
And I guess it's kind of interesting, you know what we were saying about Marvel movies, where so many people just watch like franchise film, you know, like Star Wars, Marvel, you know, Harry Potter, that stuff. So I guess by keeping that sort of stuff out of the Oscars and out of awards as much as you can, it makes sure that people always look at the films that actually are independent and deserve it. Something like Everything Everywhere All at Once.
So with that being said, do you think you'll watch the Oscars next year?
I never watch them. I just look at the results.
Okay, well, same.
Yeah, well, it's like I don't care enough to sit there and like, ooh, who's gonna win it? It's like it's like the morning after I go on Google and find out, like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. And maybe watch a few clips. But, you know, it's not for me. It's not worth dedicating my evening unless it depends on the nominations. If an animated film gets nominated for Best Picture, I don't know what would, because there's not many good animated films coming out this year, as far as I know. No, Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse. If Into the Spider-Verse 2 is nominated for Best Picture, I will watch them. Okay. Just for that one film, because I want an animated film to win Best Picture. What about you? You think you'll watch them next year?
Probably not.
No?
Most likely not.
Just look up the results again online.
Of course.
And
we'll just see what was funny or what happened or if there's any drama. Well, yeah, thank you guys for watching. It was really great presenting with Nathan today. I hope you enjoyed it too.
It was lovely presenting with you, Esther. So don't forget to go to Instagram or go to the link and vote on the polls and look at the tournament bracket. Have a good look. We really want to know what you guys think of you know, the biggest Oscar controversies, because there's a lot of them, I'm sure. There's a lot.
Yeah, I think that's all for today.
Yeah, wonderful. Make sure to follow ourselves on Instagram.
Follow us.
All the details should be on screen or below. Thank you for watching and or listening.
Yeah.
if you watch this but didn't listen to it, I'm not sure what you're doing because it's a podcast, but whatever. And yeah, we have been your hosts.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching and or listening to the Filmbusters.
Yes, the Filmbusters.
Yeah.